Jessica here. I wanted to jump on really quickly and give you guys an update. We are now 6 weeks into school, and I just wanted to kind of break it down for you, tell you guys what we're loving and what we are changing. So let me just jump right in and start with it. We are doing the Good and the Beautiful handwriting for both of my big kids, my 6th grader and my 4th grader, and they enjoy it a lot. It's pretty easy for them. They were already familiar with cursive writing before we started, but it has made them more comfortable with writing it like on an everyday basis. It incorporates drawing, and I've really been surprised at how much my kids have liked that. So they like the little piece at the bottom they get to draw, and a lot of times it'll give them like a diagram, and that makes it a little easier. And so they've been proud of some of the creations that they've made in their handwriting class. Their handwriting book does like scripture memory and like valuable things for them. It only does things that are, they only write things that are worthwhile, and so there's nothing kind of controversial. I can let them do a page or two in their handwriting book first thing in the morning, like right after we split up into our individual work, and they enjoy it. And so that is going really good. We give that a thumbs up. I've seen the benefits of not only are they becoming more comfortable with their cursive writing, but it's really neat. They're getting plenty of penmanship practice, letter formation practice, and that kind of thing. Let's see. And then typing, we are also using the Good and Beautiful typing course. My daughter is about halfway through with typing 1. She has been doing more than a lesson a day. She enjoys it. She's kind of picked it up quickly, and so I'm letting her just do a page or two a day, about 10 or 15 minutes worth, however far she gets in that amount of time, which is usually a page or two. So she's about halfway through with typing 1. I do have typing 2 in my possession from the Good and the Beautiful, and so when she gets finished with it, I'm just going to let her jump right into typing 2 as well. It is not like a computer kind of gamey typing program. It's literally a book that we set up on an easel, and the beginning of the book goes over with them how to type, the proper body posture, how to hold your hands and that kind of thing. And then it just starts with kind of home rows. So she's been incorporating some extra letters here and there, and we've actually had a couple of times where it'll have me time her so that we can see her progression as she continues through the book. But I like it because you just go on and open like a word processor, any word processor. For us, it's Microsoft Word. We just pull it up, and so she learns how to get into the program where she's going to need the typing for typing papers or whatever. And a couple of times her language arts course has already had her type up essays or formal paragraphs or book reports or whatever, and she's actually able to type them pretty well because of the limited typing that she's already had. So we've really enjoyed typing as well. Okay, language arts, we are also using the Good and Beautiful for language arts. My 6th grader is doing level 6, my 4th grader is doing level 4, and they are both really liking it. They love the geography cards that come with it. It comes with flashcards, grammar, and geography cards. They don't really like the grammar cards, but I mean, it's, grammar, it's hard to make grammar fun. But they do love the geography cards. So we have actually been rotating a week of grammar cards and a week of geography cards. I give them a week in a row to learn, 10 to 12 cards and really memorize them. And then if I think we've mastered them, we move on to some more. But I found that rotating days, they were just having a hard time kind of getting it programmed into their brain. So we rotate weeks. We do grammar for a week, and then the next week we'll do geography. And so they all look forward to geography week because that's so much more fun. In fact, they both already, I think they're almost finished with their 50 states. So they kind of already have a good idea where most of the 50 states are located on the map, and they're enjoying that. They are loving the kind of art and geography aspect of it. My son in level 4 has done quite a few tracing of maps and coloring and labeling and that kind of thing. He's really enjoying that. My daughter has done several pieces of art already with chalk pastels, and it kind of walks you through what to do and how to go about, you know, doing it, the different steps that you take. And she's really enjoying that. And so between those kind of perks thrown in and picture study, they have both learned really how to do picture study, how to study pictures, how to notice details about certain artwork and things that I probably wouldn't have thought of like on my own to incorporate. But because there's all these beautiful pictures incorporated into their language arts, I don't have to worry about covering art at all with them. It walks them through that. I don't have to cover geography separately. It walks them through that. My 4th grader has been learning about Italy, and my 6th grader has been learning about Australia. And it's incorporated in the stories that they put. So my 6th grader has been learning about Elizabeth Kinney and the Australian bushland, and so she has been reading about that and studying the geography and art and everything from Australia. And so my son has kind of been doing the same thing with Italy. It has taught them how to diagram sentences, and it really helps my son. The diagramming of sentences, I have noticed, has really helped him be able to identify things as either an adverb or an adjective. He always got hung up on those before, but now that he's learned kind of where to put them in the sentence diagram, it's helping him learn the difference. And so I love that. He is really doing great with the language arts. So it teaches them editing. He has learned how to edit. He's learning editing symbols, grammar rules, homophones, goodness me, spelling. I love the way that the spelling is going, particularly with my 6th grade daughter. The Good and the Beautiful Language Arts does spelling words primarily through dictation at this level. And so it'll have me give her 3 sentences, and I'll read the sentences, and whatever words are misspelled in there, we write in the beginning of her book in the Spelling Words to Remember book. So each lesson, we start off with the spelling words that she's missed in the past. If she goes through 4 days in a row and can spell them right now, then I'll mark them off, and we don't practice those anymore, and she moves on. But the good thing about what I love, and I think why the spelling is sticking with her, is because it's incorporating it into a sentence. So she's not just memorizing a list, rewriting those words and forgetting about them. They're being used in context, and so she's able to write them in sentences. So if she has exhibit, she has, or fortunately, that's one of her words. And she's missed fortunately every time. She always forgets that E toward the end with the E-L-Y. But it'll use, like she might miss fortunately this week, and then I'll have it in our spelling words to remember next week. And so, okay, she's got that one, and then 2 or 3 days go by, and another spelling dictation sentence has fortunately in it. So she's able to go back and, pull that one up, the one that she missed so many times, and she would, learn how to spell it and how to use it in that sentence. So I have really seen, I didn't know what I was going to think about the spelling being like that, but it has really proved to be effective with her. So we're loving the Good and the Beautiful in general. Everything that we have from them is really a good fit for us. It adds enough variety, and everything is lovely and like pure. I don't have to worry about the content or anything. We're just really enjoying it. The same thing goes with history. We're doing the Good and the Beautiful Level 1 history course, and oh my goodness, we have had so much fun, and we've learned so much. It gives you all these additional ideas that you can do, and additional read alouds, and you can do as much or as little of that as you want. You can incorporate your own stuff into it, and so it really just lends itself open to a lot of stuff. We have been talking about ancient Egypt, and so we have made Egyptian jewelry, and we've drawn Egyptian maps. We've made pyramids out of like toothpicks and jelly beans, and we have mummified an apple. We have him actually sitting over there. He is supposed to be mummified for 40 days, so we are letting him soak. The kids named him King Apple Hammond, and so he is mummifying right now. And we have just done so many neat things, and it actually had them give a presentation in lesson 9 about ancient Egypt, and they did that yesterday, and it just really showed me kind of how much they are learning. with the student explorers and the fact that they are that they each have kind of their own level additional work to do, or things to read about, more on their own level, is really nice too. So we can all talk about Egypt as a whole, and then my son has, fourth grade work that he can do in addition to that, and my daughter has actually she's doing seventh grade work, so she's doing the seventh grade history lessons, and so that has been really neat. And then we kind of all fill each other in on what we learned in our additional studies, and so it has been wonderful. We are loving the history, the Good and the Beautiful history course. In fact, if I had to pick a favorite for the kids, I'm pretty sure it would be history. Let's see. Bible, we're doing the Apologia Who Is God Bible. It does get a little lengthy, particularly for my son, because he is only in fourth grade, and I think it's actually a middle school curriculum, so it's a little more than he is probably used to. But because I don't have to stick necessarily with the lesson plans, we might only do 1 page a day or 2 pages a day instead of doing the entire book that they have kind of planned for us to do. So the Bible is definitely going to last us all year. We will not get finished with it before Christmas like I had planned, because we are taking it slower and digging in deep and learning these concepts. And I think it's going well. I enjoy it. I just see where if you really tried to stick with the lesson plans, it could be a lot for a fourth grader to do. But we don't. We've kind of thrown the lesson plans out the window. We don't even worry about those anymore. Let's see what else. Math, that we have, we start off with teaching textbooks, and we have recently swapped and switched over to Saxon math. My daughter is doing Saxon 7-6. My son is doing Saxon 5-4. Now, we have only done 2 lessons in Saxon. By the time we ordered the books and they came in and we got started after the weekend, we only did a couple of lessons. But I really do think it's a better fit. It is certainly thorough enough, and it really just drills those math facts into their heads. And it gives you enough where if I ever thought it was becoming too much, or, if we ever needed a break, I have options there. I could not give them their facts practice sheet for the day to cut them some slack, or we could just do evens or odds or whatever, but we have plenty of options. And so I really think Saxon is going to be a good fit for us. Let's talk about science. So we started out the year doing the Good and the Beautiful safety unit. It was I guess it was labeled a science unit, but it was more safety. And it was a little juvenile for my children. Most of it they already knew. But closer to the end of the unit that we got, when we started talking about the more difficult subjects of safety when you're staying home alone, or safety when you're cooking in the kitchen, or safety on the internet and peer pressure, those were really the lessons that hit home with them the most. And I loved particularly the safety, the internet safety and the peer pressure lesson. It had great object lessons with it, and just really some things that I think a lot of adults need to understand and be aware of as Christians. When you see something that you don't agree with, you don't have to jump into the argument, put your boxing gloves on, and engage. You can just keep scrolling. And if you don't have anything nice to say, then just keep scrolling. Nice comments only. And that was one of the points that they made. And it talked gently with them about pornography and how, you may see things on the internet and things may pop up on the internet that, are not nice, things that the enemy uses to entice us and to lure us in, and different ways to handle that. But it really also left it open to me as the parent to go as in-depth with that kind of stuff as I see fit. And I just really like that. It really lends itself to a lot of flexibility in those areas. So we talked about, don't click on links that you are not familiar with. If you don't know what it is, then don't click on it. You don't have to click on everything that someone sends you. If you don't know who it is sending it, certainly don't click on it. Don't give out your home address online, your phone number, things like that. Just very good basic safety rules that we needed to know. certainly in our day and age when everything is, internet driven. So the peer pressure was also great. So the safety unit was not, it didn't wow us like I wanted it to, but toward the end, when we started getting into more difficult topics that really was more for their age group, I think that they did enjoy it more. I think they actually liked it more than I did. But we are, as soon as we're finished in a few weeks, I think we have about 2 weeks left on our history unit, then we're going to go back and do another science unit, and we'll be studying space. So I'll try to do an update video on our space unit, kind of what it looks like, what we'll be covering, and then I'll try to update you guys on how that goes as well. So I would be interested to know if any of you are homeschoolers and what you guys use for science, because I have been looking at a couple of more like textbook type sciences possibly for next year or whatever, and I just wanted to know kind of what you like, why you like it, what you're using. So if you have any input for me, I would love to hear from you. Let's see what else. My 4th grader is doing state history. So he has the Abeka My State History book that he's going through. We live in Alabama, so he's doing a lot of Alabama history, and I think he's learned a lot. We are actually going to go tour the state capitol this month, actually, and we will be doing, we will be seeing all the civil rights stuff. We're going to be going through the Rosa Parks Museum and all of that and learning more about that. And we've been talking about famous people from our state, like Helen Keller, Rosa Parks, Jesse Owens, Booker T. Washington, people like that. So we've just been talking about that. He's learned quite a bit, and so we've, it's been good. The state history book doesn't exactly wow me, but we've been adding some fun activities to it, and so we're making it work. But anyway, I guess that's it. That's our kind of update, how we're loving what we've got. I'll try to update you guys, give you guys an update in a few weeks. So thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you later. Bye.